I am falling through the air, and the only thing I can think is that my husband just pushed me off a cliff. The wind is screaming past my ears, and I see the canyon walls rushing by, and David's face getting smaller above me. 30 seconds ago, we were standing at the overlook on my family's farmland looking at the view, and he handed me a bottle of water. "Drink this, you look dehydrated," he said. I took 3 sips and the world started tilting. My legs went numb. I tried to speak, but my tongue felt thick. David smiled, and it was not the smile I married. "I'm sorry, Kate," he said, and then his hands were on my shoulders, shoving me backward. I am still falling, and I know the impact is coming, but all I can process is that the man I loved for 10 years, the man I gave up my career for, the man I cooked for and cleaned for and supported through every failure, just tried to erase my existence. The water hits me like concrete and everything goes black. You won't believe what I did next. My name is Katherine Morrison, but everyone calls me Kate. I am 35 years old. I thought I was a happily married woman. I gave up my marketing career 8 years ago to support my husband David through his entrepreneurial dreams. Every failed business, every late night, every moment of stress, I was there. My father passed away 2 years ago and left me the family farmland worth about $800,000. He also left me a $4 million life insurance policy. 3 years ago, I updated the beneficiary to David. I trusted him completely. I never questioned anything. Friends said he seemed distant, controlling. I defended him every time. He's just stressed about work. He loves me. This trip to the farmland was David's idea. He never showed interest before, never wanted to see where I grew up. But last week he said, "Let's go to your family property. I want to see your roots." I was touched. I thought maybe we were reconnecting. We drove 3 hours to the rural canyon area. David was unusually attentive the whole way. I felt hopeful. When we arrived, he suggested we see the famous overlook before dark. Canyon Ridge. Beautiful view, 200-foot drop straight down. I led him to the edge, pointing out landmarks from my childhood. That is when he pulled out the water bottle. "You look dehydrated. Drink." I trusted him. I always trusted him. Within minutes, my vision blurred. My legs gave out. "David, something's wrong." His face changed. Went cold. "I know. I'm sorry it has to be this way. You're worth more dead than alive, Kate. The insurance money will solve everything." I hit the water and somehow I am still conscious. The current is strong, dragging me downstream. The sedative is wearing off from pure adrenaline. I surface gasping, grab a low-hanging branch, pull myself to shore. I collapse on the riverbank, soaking wet and shaking. My husband just tried to murder me for money. I lie there processing this impossible truth when I hear voices, lights through the trees. I crawl toward the sound and stumble into a clearing where a small film crew is setting up equipment. A nature documentary crew with cameras and a drone. I collapse in front of them. "Help!" My husband pushed me off the cliff. The director, a man named Marcus, rushes over. "Pushed you? From where?" I point up toward Canyon Ridge. Marcus checks his drone footage from the last 30 minutes. Then he shows me the screen and my heart stops. Clear, undeniable footage. David handing me water. Me drinking. Me stumbling. David pushing me over the edge. "We got everything," Marcus says quietly. "The paramedics want to take me to the hospital, but I refuse. If I go to police now, he will just say it was an accident. I need more evidence." Marcus offers his cabin nearby. "But you need to report this." I look at him. "I will, but not yet. If he thinks I am dead, he will get comfortable. Make mistakes." Meanwhile, David is calling 911 from my phone. "My wife fell. Canyon Ridge. I tried to grab her." Search and rescue teams deploy. David is crying to first responders. "She just slipped. It happened so fast." The search continues into the night. No body found yet. I am alive in Marcus's cabin watching the news coverage. The reporter says local woman presumed drowned after tragic fall. I watch David cry on camera, playing the devastated husband perfectly, and I realize something. This was planned. The sudden interest in the farmland, the insistence on the overlook, the water bottle ready to go. He knew exactly what he was doing. I turned to Marcus. I need access to our accounts. I need to see what he has been hiding. Marcus nods. You are not just going to expose him, you are going to destroy him. I smile for the first time since the fall. He tried to kill me. I am going to do something worse. I am going to ruin him in front of everyone who ever believed his lies. I spent the next 2 weeks living like a ghost. Marcus let me use his cabin while I accessed every account David thought was private. What I found made my blood run cold. Secret email accounts, messages to a woman named Vanessa spanning 18 months, subject lines that made me sick. After Kate's gone. Insurance timeline. Starting fresh together. One email dated 2 weeks before our trip said, took out additional policy on Kate. Total now $4 million. Canyon trip scheduled. Another said, once this is over, we are set for life. Kate never suspected a thing. David was not just planning to kill me, he was celebrating it in writing. I downloaded everything, every email, every text message. Then I found his business accounts, $350,000 in debt. Loan sharks threatening him from 3 months ago. Pay, or we go to authorities. He was desperate and I was his solution, his insurance payout. Meanwhile, David was performing grief like an Oscar nominee. My mother called him every day and he played the devastated husband perfectly. She was everything to me. I should have held on tighter. He planned my funeral for day 14, sent invitations to 200 people, chose readings and music, all while texting Vanessa, 2 weeks and we are free. Cannot wait to start our life. I watched him through cameras Marcus helped me place, watched him rehearse his eulogy in the mirror, practicing crying, like it was an audition. 5 days after my fall, I recorded him meeting Vanessa at a hotel. Marcus used a directional microphone and caught everything. I cannot believe it worked. She actually drank the water. Vanessa laughed. And the police bought it? David grinned. Completely. Tragic accident. They are closing the case after the funeral. I sat in that cabin watching the man I loved celebrate my murder and something inside me turned to ice. I contacted a lawyer I trusted. Showed her everything. The drone footage, the emails, the recordings. She contacted the district attorney. He reviewed it all and said one word. Airtight. I told him my plan. I want to do this at the funeral, in front of everyone. I want them to see who he really is. The DA smiled. We will be ready. The funeral day arrived. I got dressed in a simple black dress, covered my bruises with makeup. Marcus asked if I was sure. Once you walk in there, there is no going back. I looked at him. He pushed me off a cliff. There is already no going back. At 1:55, guests were gathering. David was at the podium preparing to speak. My mother was barely standing, destroyed by grief. Vanessa sat in the back row crying fake tears. Everyone believed they were mourning a tragic accident. Then, at exactly 2 p.m., I opened those doors and walked in. The room went completely silent. Someone screamed. My mother fainted. David turned around and saw me, his face drained of all color. I walked down that center aisle calm and purposeful, while chaos erupted around me. Vanessa tried to run. David grabbed the podium like his legs would not hold him. I reached the front and looked at my husband. Did you miss me, honey? That is when he made his fatal mistake. He lunged forward and grabbed my arm. You are supposed to be dead. I watched you fall. The room gasped. He just confessed in front of 200 witnesses. Every phone was recording now. David realized what he said and tried to backtrack, but it was too late. I smiled coldly. Yes, David, you watched me fall because you pushed me for $4 million. Unfortunately for you, there is video footage, and even more unfortunately, I survived. Then David collapsed, clutching his chest. Heart attack from pure panic. As paramedics rushed forward, I stepped aside and said calmly, someone should call the police. Oh wait, they are already here. I took the podium while paramedics stabilized David. The room was silent, everyone in shock. "Thank you all for coming to mourn my murder," I said clearly. "Yes, murder. 14 days ago. My husband drugged me and pushed me off Canyon Ridge to collect $4 million in life insurance." I projected the drone footage onto the memorial screen where my photos had been. 200 people watched David hand me water, watched me stumble, watched him push me over the edge. My mother screamed. Family members had to restrain her from attacking David. "Police are here now with arrest warrants," I said. Officers moved in immediately, handcuffing David to the stretcher. He was crying, begging. "Kate, please, it was a mistake. I was going to save you." I stayed ice cold. "Your emails say otherwise. So do your text messages to your mistress, Vanessa." Officers grabbed Vanessa as she tried to escape. She was tackled in the parking lot and dragged back in handcuffs, screaming that she did not do anything. The district attorney stood and addressed the stunned crowd. Showed them the emails, the texts, the financial records. Showed David's own words on screen. "After Kate's gone, we are set for life." The room was horrified. My friends apologized through tears. "We had no idea. He seemed so devoted." I told them that is what manipulators do. They perform. 6 months later, the trial was a media circus. I testified calmly, walked through everything. The drone footage played in court and the gallery gasped. David's defense tried to claim he panicked about debts, was not thinking clearly. My testimony destroyed that. He researched sedatives, updated insurance policies, planned the exact location. This was calculated murder. Vanessa testified against him for a plea deal, confirmed they planned it together. The jury deliberated 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. David got 25 years to life. Vanessa got 10 years. As David was let out, he looked at me one last time. I stared back, completely unmoved. 2 years later, I rebuilt my life completely. Divorced David from prison. Started a nonprofit called Survived to Thrive, helping others recognize warning signs and plan for safety. I speak at events now, use my story to educate. If you suspect danger, document everything. Tell someone, your life is worth protecting. I work with Marcus creating documentaries about survival. We became close friends through all of this. I visited Canyon Ridge recently, stood at the overlook where it happened. I am not afraid anymore. People ask if I am angry, I said to the camera Marcus was filming. I am not. He thought pushing me off this cliff would end my story. Instead, it started a new chapter. I am alive. He is in prison. And every day I wake up is a victory he can never take from me. I received a letter from David last month, begging for forgiveness, asking me to visit. I read it once, put it through the shredder, and went back to my life. My nonprofit just celebrated its 2nd anniversary. I am speaking to 500 women next month about trusting your instincts and protecting your worth. Some falls are actually flights to freedom. And I flew. Thanks for listening to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more unbelievable stories of survival and justice. Let me know in the comments, would you have gone to police immediately or gathered evidence first? I will see you in the next one.